I'm very extra red and black today. Hello, my name is Echo, just in case you're new here. Welcome to an unfinished set. This is the new desk. I'm still setting it up. As you may or may not know, I am an artiste, and recently I have been generally uninspired. My muse has died, like my inner muse. So I decided to buy this from the internet. I'm trying out affiliate links, so I'll put a link to this in the description if you want to try it for yourself. $20.99. It is a book called 365 Days of Art, a creative exercise for every day of the year by Lorna Scobie. Thank you, Lorna. However, I am not going to be using this as a drawing a day book. Instead, I'm going to be using it as a list of 365 prompts. So now I want to go through and show you the 10 prompts that I filled out in this book. So I figured there were two main ways I could go about this. I could either start at the beginning and work my way through the entire book, or I could flip to a random page and start there. And of course, because my life just attracts red and black, the first spread that I flipped to was red and black. Prompt 37, fill a page with things that are the color red. I've been in a very creepy aesthetic mood lately, and I decided that since 2020 sucks, we're gonna start Halloween now. It is officially now Halloween 2020, and it will stay that way until November 1st. Happy Halloween. Naturally, because I'm in a very Halloween mood, I decided to start with body parts that are red. With the muscle, I definitely looked up a reference sketch because I don't remember how to draw muscle. The human body is like a bunch of weird fleshy jigsaw pieces that fit together in strange ways, and that's why you should use reference images. So with the finger, initially I was thinking kind of like red gemstones and jewelry, but I decided if I put a finger in it, then that gives me a couple more opportunities to add some red, like blood and nail polish. For the apple, I felt like it was a little bit out of place and it wasn't creepy enough, so I just put an eye on it. It's a good way to make objects unsettling. I figured a disembodied tongue and some bloody teeth would work. There's really no purpose behind the majority of these. This paper is actually pretty good quality. However, alcohol markers pretty much bleed through anything, so I decided to use those on the bottom kind of blood embellishment sections just to see how badly it would bleed through, and it bled all the way through. However, I do have these current red Real Brush pens from Arteza, and when I did the blood in this ink, it did not bleed through. And then naturally I used a ton of red colored pencils. Considering this is the first page that I filled out in the entire book, I'm very happy with it. It's the appropriate amount of weird, creepy, and red. So then I moved on to prompt 38. Draw within the black areas using white pastel or a chalky white colored pencil. So technically this book is supposed to be like an exploration of materials and styles and textures, but I'm just kind of going my own way with it. So rather than using pastels or chalk, which are quite messy and smudgy, I decided to use my white gel pens and find out which ones of them still work. Once again, still in a creepy mood, so I started with some teeth. Yum. I really like drawing teeth. I like teeth as an aesthetic. I like teeth. Send me your teeth. No, don't send me your teeth. That would be weird. If I want teeth, I will buy them fairly on the internet. Cruelty-free, boneless teeth. Fair trade. I mainly wanted to fill this with like patterns of simple shapes, so next I decided to do some hearts. Then I drew some eyes using negative space. Ooh, ah. And then more teeth. Sometimes you just feel like drawing teeth and you gotta draw a bunch of teeth, and then you have a bunch of teeth. I really like teeth, and not in like a normal dentist way, in a creepy aesthetic way. Sometimes I like to chew on my wisdom tooth, not the ones in my mouth. Then I flipped to another random page and I landed here. Number 125, draw a wintry forest walk. I thought this would be a good opportunity to try and use my Art Nouveau watercolor pens. They're these guys. I've had these for a very long time and I haven't had a chance to use like half of them. As you can tell by the yellow rings, that means they haven't been opened. To make it feel a bit more wintry, I drew a giant Yeti monster, and I also drew a tiny little deer, and they're just kind of looking at each other. I feel like that helps to kind of establish scale a little bit. When I was coloring the Yeti, this very light cyan color, I had an accident and a huge drop of ink just fell on the page, and I freaked out and I tried to save it, and it doesn't look too bad. The end result actually looks okay. You can't see the like massive oopsie that I had right on the side of the Yeti's head. Just kind of looks like shading. You can kind of see it from the other side of the page, but that's a problem for future Echo. Number 126. Create a design on this rug. So because it's Halloween, I decided to make a rug out of skin. Yay! I also wanted to add an extra element of creepy, so I put like a weird mouth in the middle of it. I don't know, man, let me live. I don't know how this rug makes any sense spatially, but I don't care. I'm too tired to care. The shading on the teeth was actually pretty fun. It adds a lot of dimension to this. And then naturally we gotta have some nasty stitches holding it all together. I had a lot of fun coloring this, even though it's just a bunch of like basic skin tone shades. I'm very happy with how this one came out. Next, I landed on 159 and 160, and this is why I'm glad that I decided to skip around in the book instead of going straight through, because I don't think that 159 is a good idea right now. People watching provides great drawing practice and can be done whenever you feel like it. Practice drawing people out and about. I'm not going outside for this. There's a plague outside. 160. Add patterns to the butterflies. I decided to have a bit of a zen time with this one. The only semi-creepy Halloween type thing I could think to do with these butterflies was to give them a bunch of eyes. Eyes and teeth can be very creepy. With this one I decided to use my small set of gel pens, particularly the red and black ones. In general, this was the first page that I was not particularly happy with. It's not that it's like bad, it's just not very good. Not to be like a person who blames my tools, but the shapes of the butterflies were just kind of meh. I feel like anything that I drew on them would look a little cartoony because the butterflies themselves are a bit cartoony. There's just not much I can do about that. The patterns are okay. It's alright, but in general it's not my best work and I'm not super happy with it or proud of it. It's just a thing that exists. It's whatever. The next spread that I flipped to was 241 and 242. Draw an animal from life. Animals are great subjects as they don't mind being drawn. You don't know that. They tend to move around a lot, so practice working quickly. I decided to completely throw out like half of that prompt because I needed to do this under my camera. So instead I decided to search through a bunch of pictures of my dog Ben, and I found this one where he's mid-yawn. And I said to myself, ah yes, that is a solid representation of my dog. I decided to do this one entirely in graphite because he's a monochrome dog and graphite's easy to blend. I like the fact that in the picture he was like looking up so you cannot see his pupils, so he looks extra possessed. I love him with all my heart. Well, look at that grand old portrait of my pupper. 242, make a pattern in the shapes. So with this one I decided to try and kind of redo my zen moment, and I was just gonna do a bunch of red and black stripes, and then I got very tired of it very quickly and it was not zen at all. I couldn't finish it, and I decided it was a bad idea halfway through. And instead, I used the triangles to create a little Illuminati character man. This is another one I just didn't really care for. Even though this wasn't the greatest prompt, I probably could have done a lot better if I spent a little bit more time conceptualizing instead of just throwing myself into a random idea. Not my best. Not really happy with it. After that, I flipped through and landed on a spread that actually had 3 prompts, which is kind of cool. Wasn't expecting that. 106. Draw the horizon on this gray sky. It can be a sea with ships, a headlamp, a city skyline, etc. I actually really enjoy drawing these kinds of silhouettes, but it's something that I forget I enjoy doing, so this was a very good prompt for me. I decided I would be drawing Chewy Bunny under a tree. I did a little basic sketch. I put in like some grass, a bush, and a rock, and butterflies and leaves, and just kind of like a shed, I guess. It's just kind of like a makeshift shelter. I enjoy high contrast art, so I feel like that might have something to do with why I like drawing this kind of scenery. But I really like this one. I like the prompt, I like how the drawing came out. It makes me happy. Any excuse to put Chewy Bunny in my drawings, I will take. 107, draw lots of mouths. This is one that was very straightforward and I enjoyed a lot. This gave me a lot of opportunities to draw different kinds of teeth and tongues and lips. I even did one with piercings. Because this one was super straightforward, I drew all of the mouths in pencil and then I went over it with a Faber-Castell small fine liner, which I think is 0.5. I could be wrong. I also wanted to draw kind of like bunny teeth, but it didn't feel right having just the mouth, so I also had to draw the nose. Got some sharp teeth, some like upper fangs, some orc fangs, many different styles. After the lines were dry, I erased all of the pencil and then filled in all of the darkness for the inside of the mouths. I also drew a little anime smile without any reference at all, because it's so easy. Overall, I really like that prompt and I'm happy with how all of the art came out. Even though the prompt and the drawings are very simple, I like this one. 108, draw lots of eyes. I went full anime with this one. I love anime eyes. They're just really nice and super diverse. I know a bunch of Americans who are kind of disconnected from anime manga culture might think that all anime eyes look the same, but they actually are very diverse in a lot of like really finite details. A lot of it comes down to stylistic choices by the artist, the shape of the eyes, the shape of the iris, the lashes, how angular they are, the position of them on the face. So first I drew all of these with a 0.5 mechanical pencil, and then I went over all of them with a very fine Japanese gel pen. Also, anime eyes are a lot of fun to color. Oh, I should make a straight up tutorial on how to anime eyes. Straight up how to animate eyes. When I was coloring these, I decided to use my gel pens because gel pens are probably the most vivid. When it comes to coloring without leaving visible strokes, I feel like gel pens and alcohol-based markers are the best for uniform color. Watercolor leaves stroke marks and texture. Pencils leave stroke marks and texture. A lot of paints leave those as well. And I am not a fan of texture. I like solid block colors. Vivid cyan, vivid magenta. When it came to the snake eyes, I wanted to do like a yellow, but I do not have a yellow gel pen, so instead I opted for green. It's okay. It's alright. Yellow would have been better. And then I did use colored pencils for the like blurry iris brown eyes. I'm happy with this one. I should put some of these eyes on something. And those are all the things. That is my current progress within this book. They're gonna fit right here. So there it is. 10 of the 365 prompts I have in this fancy new book of mine by Lorna Scobie. Once again, if you would like to get that book, I'll put a link to it in the description. I'm trying out affiliate links because life is difficult in these trying times. Pandemic has slashed my ad revenue. Ha! Oh, I'm dying. Thank you for coming with me on this weird journey through the magical world of my mind. Happy Halloween. I hope that you have a great day. I'm gonna give you 527 awesome points for making it all the way to the end of this video. You have a great day, and I will see you later. Goodbye. I'm wearing my Halloween leggings because I'm serious.